Thank you very much, Engineer Zipporah. Thank you to Deborah Miriam, our host. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for organizing this wonderful meeting at this evening. So it is my esteemed pleasure to stand before you as a doctor, not necessarily from the Ministry of Health, but yes, from the work of healing and of medicine, and yes, and also as a member of the board of Deborah International for the project, for the medical project. So I have been asked to just come and give a brief report about the hospital project. And while I'm here with the mic, let me just expand that task that I have been given a little bit to first of all, remind ourselves of that clip which Deborah Miriam mentioned earlier. It was very interesting to hear that she got that inspiration of making and sending the clip just earlier this morning. And I received it as I was preparing to come. And I thought, what a wonderful clip. The place looked so beautiful. She looked so beautiful in that outfit. And most of all, the message was so beautiful. Because it was all about healing, about health. And that to remind ourselves that God wants us healthy. God wants us healthy. Very often, especially we men and even women, definitely, well, I guess some children too, we always think about richness. God wants me to be rich, I have to be rich, I have to have this, I have to have that. The most important wealth is good health. Without good health, all the riches you have are going nowhere. That's why it's good to be ambitious. It's good to want to do many things. But let's not forget that without good health, we are going nowhere. So God wants us to be healthy and strong, to have healthy lifestyles. And now that I am putting my cap as the doctors, I would say, I have colleagues here in the trade of healing, let me just insist that it is important to have somebody to help you to keep healthy. Just as we rely on other professionals to teach us in schools and to help us in other areas, it's important to recognize this. We also need IT people to help us with better microphones. Can we have one that is working a bit? This one seems to be disconnected. But just as we have good support in IT and in all other areas, thank you, we also need a doctor, clinical officer, nurse, who can be looking after us. We just heard the testimony from Deborah, how she was unwell at some point, and she relied on others to assist her. So let us realize that it is not a sign of weakness to look for help. It is actually a sign of strength and a sign of responsibility to look for help. If you want to build a good house, you look for a good architect, you look for a good engineer, probably a colleague of Engineer Zipporah here. Look for good professionals to help you build that good house, that good building. We can also remember, and I think this is important from a cultural perspective, sometimes we may think, fine, I'll just pray and the illness will go. But sometimes we need to take those medicines. We need to take those medicines, and in the same way that we have faith in our Creator, let us also have faith in those good doctors or those nurses, clinical officers who are looking after us. And the more faith we have in those good doctors, the better for us. So let us also remember that health is a right. It's a right. It's a basic human right that everybody is entitled to. And that's why I was so glad to hear of that vision of, being reminded really of that vision of the Deborah DIMK hospital about making healthcare affordable and accessible, because we are simply respecting the basic rights of every human being. I will recall a conversation I had just this morning as I was getting ready, as we were getting ready with my son Curtis, who has joined me today. Thank you, Curtis, once again for joining. As we were getting ready, I bumped into a doctor friend of mine. I'll mention his name. It's called Dr. Mugambi. So his son and Curtis were actually in the same class, in the same school. So we got to know each other through our sons. He's a very good doctor. He's a specialist in infectious diseases. And we bumped into each other somewhere, and he asked me, what are you up to? And I told him, I'm getting ready to come to Malam, go to Malam. And he asked me what's going on there. And guess what? I showed him that clip of this morning. And he listened, and of course I had introduced the whole topic, telling him that this lady is putting up a hospital. And I told her a little bit about how she was paralyzed. We heard from the mother how she was paralyzed, and how through the intercession of one Daniel Arab boy, she began her treatment, proper treatment this time, and eventually got cured. And the question that my friend Dr. Mugambi asked me is, where did she get the money to put up the hospital? And I told him, she actually doesn't have the money yet. She has a few plots of land. She's planning to expand the acreage. But she has people who are interested, and they're ready to help. So, and he actually told me, look, next time if there's an activity, just let me know, and I will give it a hand. So we have one more sign up. So I will give him your response of the applause. I will let him know he's very well. So we are growing. We are growing. I recall the camp, the medical camp that we had a year ago in November. As you heard, the year ends in November, so let me connect to the other November of last year, when we had a very successful medical camp. A number of us who are here, I have seen part of our team who have joined me once again from the medical side, from the audiovisual side. So thank you very much for coming. Yes, there's Gittens at the end. I know Sister Jedida was coming somewhere. I have not seen her yet. Maybe you can put your hand up. Oh, there she is. So she was early, yes. So thank you so much. I have seen Michael, the audiovisual expert, who is here with us making the clips. So we actually began in November last year. And it's very good to see and to note that throughout the year, that was just the beginning, but every third Saturday, we have been having Dr. Damaris Maina, who has been having Damaris. Can you give a hand, please? Thank you. Dr. Maina has been coming faithfully, sacrificing her time every third Saturday of the year. Right. So thank you so much, God. And so what happens is that every time that Deborah Miriam preaches, there's a community just like we have here, and Dr. Damaris has been seeing all the patients, and once in a while I also come in to assist. And I remember last month when I was here, we had a good group of about 30, 40 people who were sick, and we were able to bring medicines for them. And I'm very glad to mention that even this time we have been supported by one pharmaceutical company called Microlabs. Helen, you can give Helen, please. Helen Davis. Helen has joined us all the way from Microlabs. She brought us a whole box of medicines. So, and those medicines include medicines for high blood pressure, medicines for diabetes, medicines for pain, and I remember last time we had some dewormers, so even the children were able to benefit. So in the report, I like the report because the report is already giving a vision of this place. For those who came in, and I suppose all of us from Nairobi, you are able to see the development that is taking place in Josta. It's grown, it's huge. You saw the mall where Madai supermarket is. Did you see that? Huge. And that's a sign of what is coming. You know that this road will be a dual carriageway? Did you know that the affordable housing is coming right across? 5,000 homes. So when Deborah Miriam talks about seeing things as we see when we see, she sees even before all that. But when we see now the tractors coming, we say, where are you going to give me that? You know? But it said, you know, the good book tells us, blessed are those who believe without seeing, isn't it? So I think it's all good that we're here and to think ahead. Think ahead. You know, I was very impressed, and I remember telling my friend that, Dr. Mugambi this morning, that Deborah Miriam saw the vision of a hospital when she was in ICU, when she was in her 20s.
Yes.
That's when she saw the vision of this hospital. And of course, she had many things to do before now, eventually the time coming, isn't it? What I'm trying to say is, let us now see the future for those who want to invest, those who are, like Pastor Jesse, our chairman, might have some investments he wants to make in this area. This is a good opportunity. Of course, I know this is the main investment, that's why he's here and he supports us all the way and he's helped us to purchase this land. But this is something which will help. As you know, hospitals, when they are built near housing estates, they do very well. So this is a project that will help a lot of people. If you can think of 5,000 homes, each of them with 4 to 5 people, it's already 25,000 people. That's business enough. Keep everybody busy. Even the musicians will have something to do. Entertaining patients. So without much ado, let me just thank you very much for being here, for your attention. And I want to encourage us to carry on supporting this noble project. And I want to thank Deborah Miriam for inviting us to be part of her team. Thank you very much. I'm handing over to the MC.